Hello, my name is Brian Sankey. I'm the Technical Support Manager for ESS Safeforce, and this is just a short toolbox talk video on the HDAV.1 Davit Trench system. Okay, so when delivered you will have, the system comes in two parts. You'll have your adjustable barrel mount, which is what this is, and you'll also have your mast to go with it as well for the trench system. Okay, so this is known as an adjustable barrel mount, so that's known as the mast. They do come in two parts, but they're all under one code under our system. Okay, so this is our adjustable barrel mount. You can see it's quite easy to lift and pick up and move around with the two carry handles around as well. And it's also fully adjustable from 0 to 609mm to fit whatever box you want. To adjust it, you just pull the pin out, and slide that forwards, pull back to put it into whatever position you want. Alright, and then re-secure it with the pin. Once it's in your desired position, you've then also got these clamps to be able to then tighten it and fix it up against the box. Alright, so if I move that closer to you there, you can see here on each side you've got 4 of these clamps to be able to tighten and really tightly, securely fit this adjustable barrel mount to your box. Alright, you've got 4 on the front, obviously you've got 4 on the other side as well, so you need to make sure once you've got it in position, you can hand tighten those up to clamp it against your box. Okay, on the front here obviously we have the insert for where the mast goes into this. We've also got this clamp around the top as well, which keeps the mast in that forward facing position when in use. Alright, stops it from being able to move from side to side as well. Okay, so that's our adjustable barrel mount. Obviously, things to check for when you're looking at this equipment: make sure all of these are freely moving. Alright, so make sure they move okay. Make sure the pins and that are all working properly and correctly. Normally, if they aren't, a bit of WD-40 or alternative will be able to put on them to make them work as they should do. Okay, so that's the adjustable barrel mount. Okay, so if I turn that to its side, what we're now going to do is we're going to put the mast up into the actual base of the unit itself. Alright, so what we'll do now, we'll look at the mast, we'll go through that in detail. Back a bit. So this is our mast, okay, fully adjustable, hand adjustable to my lat as well. You've also got various different points on the mast where you can put the brackets for your man riding winch or your fall arrest retriever. It's up to you which position you want to put them in, but as you can see from there, there's various different holes for you to decide on the best position, which is for the best position for you to be able to use it when you're using it and winding, lifting the guy out and back in, and obviously use your retrieval winch as well. Okay, if we look at the main mast here at the top, you can see from here that we've got another fall arrest pointer there on the front as well. So if you wanted to put another fall arrest block on to be able to be used, that can be also put onto there as well. But you'll notice on here we've got a pulley there and we've got a pulley underneath. This pulley on top is for the fall arrest retrieval winch to go through when in use, and that winch will then come over the top of the mast and down onto the fall arrest retriever on the back. And then on the other side we've got this other pulley, and the man riding winch will come up through this pulley and out the front there as well. Okay, what you'll also notice as well with this mast is you've got various different points here where you can extend this mast out to. Alright, so this is useful for you to be able to do that. You've got 1 point there, 2, 3, 4 different points, just giving you a little bit more outreach when you're actually using the mast. Alright, and you've also got a manual adjuster there to make it higher or lower as well, which you can do with that as well. This pin here is obviously to secure the cable in. Once you put the cable through at the end of it, obviously then you secure it over the top, and that then stops the cable from then being able to pop out whilst in use, if that should happen. Okay, so also another little tip as well: if when transporting this instrument you haven't got very much space or it's too long to go in your vehicle of choice, what you can do is you can break this down. So you've got a pin here which you can pull out, and that will then break that part of the section down, so it'll reduce the height of it, which is also helpful when getting into smaller vehicles. Alright, so that's our mast. Okay, so what I'll do now, I'll move that to there, and then what I'm going to do now, I'll move this up to here, so you can then see how I'm now going to put this block, these blocks onto the actual mast itself. Alright, so what we'll do, we'll move the fence system back into position again. Okay, so by this point you would have ultimately have put your adjustable barrel mount into position, adjusted it to the required distance, and then hand tightened all those 8 bolts up to secure it to your trench box that you're using this with. And then obviously it's time then to put your mast into the actual adjustable barrel mount. Alright, so to do that, it's pretty simple. All you effectively do, lift it up, and drop it down into position like that. Alright, so that's quite simple obviously in setting up. That's now into position. It's dropped into the base to stop it from moving either way when in use. Alright, so it's always forward facing down into the excavation. Alright, and obviously that's ready for use. So the next thing what we need to do is we're now going to put our winches onto this system. Alright, so the winches that we supply with this system are the 25 metre full arrest retriever and a 30 metre man riding winch. Alright, the purpose of this obviously is that you've got the man riding winch to be able to lower and hire the person manually, and then you've got your full arrest retriever there as well as a backup, so that if the cable was to break, for example, you've got the reliance of that retriever being able to grab you, and you can then engage the retriever to get the guy out of the excavation. Alright, so we'll start with this then. So this is our 25 metre full arrest retriever. Alright, you can see the bracket fits onto this bracket that's here as well. It's quite simple to put it on, lift it up, drop it on the bottom 2 pins, and then you've got a securing pin here. Finally lean that into position, drop that through, and that then sits nicely onto there. Alright, this winch will always be in the full arrest retrieval position when ready for use. Okay, as you can see here, this one is, but always double check that is in the full arrest position before use. Alright, and then what we now have to do is we have to feed the cable up through the various points to get it into that position. Alright, so that's simple to do. All we do, feed it up through here, up through the top, over the top of the pin, over the top of the pulley up there, and then secure it back with the securing pin in there. Alright, so that'll keep that there now, that'll stop that from moving anywhere, and you can see if I do that, that's in full arrest mode and ready to use. So that's our 25 metre winch installed and ready for use. Obviously that's a good position for it to be because it's just the right height for someone to be able to use it if they need to. Alright, so that's our full arrest retriever installed. What we now need to do is install our 25 metre, our 30 metre man riding winch. Okay, so this fits onto it in exactly the same way. Same sort of pin function. Drop it onto there like that. Manoeuvre it into position. There we go. Obviously, it's worth maybe having 2 people to assist you in regards to lifting this winch into position. It can be done manually, but it is generally easier. Obviously, if you've got someone there to help you and take the weight of the winch as you're putting it onto the brackets like that. And the same for the 25 metre as well. I can do it on my own, but obviously if you want to get someone to help you, then that's fine. Alright, so this man riding winch, 30 metres in length. You've got 2 different speeds for when you're lowering and hiring. So obviously you can just pop them out, and you can see that just pops out and it will just go into that other one there. Alright, I'm going to use it in this one for now. Just secures into there. So what we now need to do is feed the cable for this up through the underside of the actual mast. Alright, so to do that we'll take some slack off the winch, pull the pin back, okay, we'll pull off enough slack so we can get it up and through where the pulley is. Alright, so that then feeds up through there, through the pulley and around the other side. Alright, it's important to note, only the man riding winch can go on the underside of this pulley. Alright, this pulley here is not tested for fall arrest retrieval, so hence why the fall arrest retriever has to go on the back of the unit, because this pulley at the top is tested for fall arrest. Alright, so fall arrest retriever on the back of the mast, man riding winch on the underside. Alright, and then what you'll be able to do then is obviously pull the 2 things, connect that up to your harness of your user, and obviously lower them down into the excavation. Okay. Other than that, I think that's pretty much it. That's the setup of the Davit Trench system, alright, which comes obviously with a 30 metre man riding winch, 25 metre fall arrest retriever, and obviously comes with the adjustable barrel mount, which can fit between 0 and 609 millimetres on the trench box. Okay, thank you very much.